Each one is great in India in our democracy. He is a citizen of free India. But you think, I'm a poor man, I'm a weak man, all things they will say. But your basic structure is a citizen of free India, democratic citizen. That awareness, if it comes, you will find a dignity coming to human beings which they never had in their lifetime. This kind of thing, both in political language and spiritual language, it is the same. Human dignity, human equality. Everybody has only one vote. Nobody has two votes. Even the president also only one vote. That's called equality, absolute equality. That is democracy, Vedantic democracy.
Would you say that Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda represented two facets of this quest?
Ramakrishna realized all the profound utterances of the Upanishads which they had realized at that time. In this modern age, he lived. In fact, according to Romarola, his life of Ramakrishna, he said, Ramakrishna is the consummation of the 2,000 year spiritual life of 300 billion people. That is his estimate, perfectly true. He just lived in his life everything and left to Narendra, Vivekananda. He himself made him the instrument, carry this out. So that external action is what Vivekananda did on the basis of this, after his own realization of the truth. That is what happened.
Would you say that this sort of feeling that, or the conviction that the truth and India's heritage derives almost exclusively from the Upanishads and the Vedanta has been somewhat abused, and so we now have a form of Hindu fundamentalism?
It can never be fundamentalism. Absolute freedom. Where is fundamentalism? Vedanta means absolute freedom. You have freedom to do, to think, to act. That's what Vedanta is. Fundamentalism, in the correct English word, correctly correct. Fundamental means the most important part. That way is correct, but not what is usually understood by the fundamentalism. Means going back to untouchability, going to caste system. That is called fundamentalism. That is not there today. Nowhere in India there is a desire to go back to that kind of a decadent period, what we lived in, that nobody wants. I don't think any political party wants it, not even individuals also. But fundamental, in the English correct sense of the term, the most important is fundamental. That way we can say it is fundamental. Truthful, is it?
But when that conviction to truth, or that insight of truth, is perceived as being an exclusive insight,
it cannot be exclusive at all. It is individually, everybody has to do it oneself. Nobody else can do it for somebody else. Just like Shankaracharya said, if you eat yourself, if you take medicine yourself, you will get rid of your disease. And now the doctor taking food or taking medicine. So in this matter, I have to do it myself. He has to do it himself. Everybody has to do it himself. That is the idea. There is nothing like imposing. Everybody is free. If I don't want to proceed further, don't want. Just like a student doesn't want to go beyond class 4. It's up to him. We want him to go, but he doesn't go. He remains at a lower level. What can you do? That kind of thing.
Well, what is the relationship of this philosophy to other techniques and practices for insight and to be a good human being? I mean, different religions, each one of them believes that human beings don't want suffering and they want happiness, and offers a different worldview frequently to arrive at that.
The beauty of this philosophy is this. It takes man where he finds him and tells him there is something higher. Something higher. So in Bengali they say, Ege jao, aage badho, aage badho, aage badho. Just like a child. He takes a toy. You give toys to child. They plays with toy. After some time, I want books. I don't want toys. That's called growth. This kind of growth must continue. Beyond this, mere intellectual development. That's called spiritual development. Intellectual development doesn't make for spiritual development as it is. Intellectual people can be most unspiritual, most without value system. Today we can see highly intellectual people going down for little 100 rupees bribe. It can be purchased. So intellectual development is not enough. Something more is there. That is what called human development for all. Everybody is eligible for it. It is your birthright. You don't have to borrow from anybody. It's your own right it is. That's it. Pure Vedantic, democratic attitude you get in this.
Swamiji, you had initially earlier spoken about India's secular structure. And what I've been sort of struggling to understand is the role of different religions simultaneously being practiced within this larger secular structure, and some religions feeling that their techniques or processes are superior to the others. That is a sense of conflict.
Anybody can feel mine is superior, that is superior. Let them do that. Keep it to yourself. But so far as the nation is concerned, everybody is free to bring out the best out of his own religion, out of her own religion. We don't trust anything on anybody. The state is secular. It is absolutely secular. There is no question at all. But it is not unspiritual. Then values will not be there. Spirituality alone can bring you value in your system, but it is not connected with this religion, that religion. Every religion has value system, though it is very often restricted to the particular religion. Nobody else can receive that value. But our country says values must bring out from your own religion if you can, otherwise bring it from any other source, but value system is essential. Without honesty, you can't have a government. Without honesty, without a society, without integration between man and man, you can't make a society. It will be just a crowd only. What makes a crowd into a society is some integrating principle. We call it Dharma. The value system is called Dharma in the pure sense, as you find in the Mahabharata. In the Karna Parva, Sri Krishna himself is defining Dharma. Dharanat Dharma ityaho. Dharmo dharayate prajaha. Because it holds together human beings in a society, because it integrates man with man in society, therefore it is called Dharma. That is what is needed to make a society. A crowd becomes a society when there is an integrating principle. That must come from within each individual. You cannot purchase in the market, you cannot get it from the parliament by law and regulation. No, it must be a growth from within, from the physical to the spiritual. That growth is most essential for India, England, America, everywhere. No country can do without this integrating principle coming out from within oneself, not through law and regulation. But if you develop that spiritual thing within, it's nothing to do with magic, mystic, nothing. Pure human growth. One dimension you grow by baby's weight you take, 7 pounds at birth, then 20, 30, 100, 200. Beyond that, no physical growth is worthwhile. Intellectual growth, you don't commit to memory the whole dictionary. You just intelligence you develop and understand what is there. That's why intellectual growth is a limit. But spiritual growth is unlimited. You feel your oneness with the whole world. What a wonderful development. An individual, yet universal in outlook, universal in sympathy. That is the type of Buddha. What is Buddha? The end of human evolution is Buddha. Infinite compassion. What a wonderful idea. A Jesus in infinite compassion. That is called evolution of man at the real spiritual level. Physical level we have come. That is why today's biology tells you organic evolution has no meaning when nature evolved the human being. Now only evolution, moral, spiritual, other evolution. They don't know what it is, because from their study they cannot get it. It is a higher level. That is what India did. What is the next evolution of man? That is spiritual. How moral values, ethical values, feeling oneness. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu is language in Sanskrit, that people all over the world be happy. We always told like this in the past ages in India. We never thought of one particular group, one particular section here, but humanity as humanity. Let them all be happy. Even the animals we say, let them be happy, let them be happy. That understanding of oneness becomes possible because you realize beyond this limited body, something unlimited in yourself. That is the Atman, that is Atmajnana. We call it Adhyatma Vidya, science of man and the Atman, science of spirituality. It's called Adhyatma Vidya. Vidya is a word for science in Sanskrit. Two Vidyas, Aparavidya, Paravidya. Aparavidya, ordinary knowledge, that is physical science, and all connected with physical science. The other is Paravidya, spirit of the realization of the imperishable reality behind the perishable world. That reality is called spiritual, infinite consciousness. And a man like Schrödinger, great nuclear scientist, he says consciousness is a singular, it is just no plural. It is a singular which can never have a plural. That is pure consciousness. That one is in you, in me, in all. That awareness makes you feel one with all. The Gita puts it in a simple language. I am the thread that runs through all the pearls in the garland. What a beautiful idea of the divine. That is the idea is Vedanta upholds, by which I, remaining a limited individual, my sympathies go round the world, covering everybody. Limited, unlimited, both are there. Physically limited, spiritually unlimited.
Swamiji, in describing the evolution, in a sense, of India over the millennia, you have said that India has moved from different stages. You have tamas, you have rajas, you have sattva. Could you explain what you mean by that?
For the last 1,000 years, our society can be described as tamasic. No energy, no activity, except eating, drinking, and personal. That's all. So that tamasic state we passed through. Then came the dhakka, what you call the push from the West culture. That gave us a new awakening. It could have destroyed us, but something in India keeps it alive. That is the Upanishads. India owes this continuity of culture to the Upanishads. In no part of the world you will find a literature like the Upanishads, study of man in depth. So what happened? This Western push could have destroyed many cultures. We were also getting out of control in the 19th century. But Upanishads acted once again on our mind, and we started rajas. The first stage is rajas. There is no place from tamas to sattva. First you must pass through rajas. And now for the last 50 years of independence, we are passing through tremendous rajas. So sleeping sections of people are awaking. They struggle. They want a place under the sun. They are not going to sit quiet. So you find conflict. Social conflict is bound to happen when a tamasic society tries to become awakened. That is what is happening in India today. Sections after sections who are lying low, who have been exploited for centuries, they are getting a place, and we have got our own place in our society. So they struggle. This struggle will go on. Another 50 years more, this kind of struggle, and then slowly a stability will come. Yes, I have a status, you have a status, nobody is below. So then will come the real growth of India. This is also growth. It's necessary for that other growth. But the real India will come another 50 years later when every system, every section of society gets its own place. In a democracy like ours, we have preserved our democracy in spite of many weaknesses. What you call, Bhutto referred to India's democracy as a faltering democracy. We are a faltering democracy, but it is still democracy. Therefore, if we can continue like this, some time will come, people have got their status, every group, every untouchable, lower level, Dalit, all these things, all will come up. Then will come the real growth of India. And then our impact upon the rest of the world will be tremendous. Generally, when a nation expands, just like Greece, when they united all the states and became Grecian state by Alexander's father, it expanded. How? Military. All Western expansion, even Chinese expansion, has been military primarily. But India's expansion has been ideological. Our ideas spread all over the world. Throughout the ages, that is what happened, say, 4th century, Plato, Aristotle, Plato and Socrates. One British writer has written a book, The Message of Plato. And he says there, you can't understand Plato and Socrates without understanding the Upanishads. Upanishads influenced tremendously. When Socrates is drinking poison, one scene is described there. Crito, one of his friends, said, Socrates, how shall we bury you? Socrates smiled. He said, you want to bury me? You mean the body. As to the body, do with it as you do with other people. I am not the body. That is teaching about Upanishads said, I am the Atman, and the pure self, birthless, deathless, that is the Atman. That knowledge is never found in Greek. That is why he had to die. He learned something beyond Greek political thinking. So he had to die. Suppose he was in India, he would have been honored, would have been worshipped. Same thing in Jesus. Such a great soul, he had to die. Why? They couldn't digest this higher spiritual thought. In India, nobody dies. Vivekananda, in the modern period, criticized the Hindu religion, our social practices, more virulently than any foreign missionary. But we have honored him, worshipped him. That is India. The spiritual aspect, we know how to recognize, how to really appreciate, and also try to follow as best as we can. That is one thing that has to be kept in view. India has passed through so many stages. sometimes very low. Then some great teacher, a Buddha comes, a Shankaracharya comes like that, a new awakening comes. This happened in the modern period. We are on the brink of disaster, but out of that we have become stronger, still stronger than what we were before. Vivekananda predicted modern India will develop in such a way far superior to what it has done earlier ages. That is going to be worldwide in influence as well.
Wouldn't you say that that process now seems to be reversed? And with the inflow of foreign television, with European, Western ideas in many ways, are sort of defining global culture.
At the beginning, we get what you call very much confused. What is all this like that? But slowly going on to it, you get assimilation. You digest it. You use it, make a servant of it. That we will do in course of time. Today we are not in that condition. We are still not strong. Many of our people do not know the essence of our own culture. Many of our educated people do not know what is the strength behind India's continuity. It is continuous. What is it? Why is it continuity? Egypt had to die away. Greece had to die away. So many other countries died. India did not die in spite of 900 years of foreign rule. Imagine that. 7 years of foreign rule in France during Hitler's time. France was shaky. But slowly it is all right now. We have got 800, 900 years foreign rule. We never got disrupted at all because of that inner strength. That will continue now. And you can take for granted India will never be a military aggressive nation any time in the history. It has never been so in the past. It had energy, it had military power, united empire, but only our ideas have gone. Take Ashoka, sending out his Buddha's message of harmony in peace and tolerance in religion through rocks and pillars, edicts. He has sent up to Alexandria. He has sent his ambassadors like that. That is the India of the future also, the same India. Never aggression, military on other nations. That is India's blessing. We have done no harm to anybody. We have been harmed very much. But today we will see that we are not harmed again. We shall not harm others also hereafter. That will be India of the future. Vivekananda stands guarantee of that. He has repeated it again and again. Like the gentle dew, I'm quoting his one famous sentence, like the gentle dew that falls unseen and unheard, yet brings into blossom the fairest of roses, such has been the contribution of India to the thought of the world. Gentle, unperceived, yet omnipotent in effect. We did it. When did it? We do not know. Because history records only violence, war, such things. Not gentle influences, no history will record.
For an individual Indian who wants to discover his roots, who wants to discover and experience this heritage, how important is the role of a guru?
In any system, even in physics, we need a guru. Modern physics, at a very high level, we need a guru. Only we didn't invest in with that guruship, that's all. Actually, we need a guru. The higher you go in education, the more you need a guru. And the new baby also needs a guru to educate it in the alphabet in the beginning itself. So we only put a certain sacredness to that word. Knowledge is sacred. One who confers knowledge is very sacred. That is why consider your guru as a god. That is the teaching in the father is a god, mother is a god. The first teacher is mother, second teacher is father, then comes the guru. All these are in the Upanishad mentioned there. So in India, we have forgotten the guruship so far as university teachers and students are concerned. But I went to Indonesia. The word guru is used for every teacher in Indonesia. The disciple is called shishya, shishyaha, Indonesian language. Same Sanskrit, shishyaha and guru. They have retained the word. We have not retained even the word in today. That is why our university, there is no guru-shishya relationship. And in America, teachers are afraid of students. And one lady went to a school, I saw in the magazine, American magazine. Students told, "Madam, you are coming here. You will have something to learn here. Good warning, you have got the very first day itself. This is happening. So it is good to invest. Knowledge is something sacred. Any knowledge is sacred. In India, every knowledge is sacred. A carpenter's knowledge is sacred. Saraswati Puja day, all these things are put before Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of every type of knowledge. Medical instruments are put before Saraswati during Saraswati Puja. That sacredness of knowledge has gone away in today's secular thinking. That must return again. Knowledge is really sacred. What is animals have no knowledge, only genetic, what you call imprints are there. But a human being is to learn from somebody. He gives you, and you will feel better. You feel richer thereby. We say in Sanskrit, Vidya Dhanam Sarva Dhana Pradhanam. Knowledge wealth is the supreme wealth among all the wealth. Is the language of Sanskrit. That, when it comes, Guru also will come. Reverence to the Guru can come only when you understand the significance of the Guru-Shishya relationship. That will come once again. I wish our education, say university, no silence, you go to a college, no silence, all noise. How can there be knowledge without silence? I go to colleges, you go by, always noise, noise, noise. No silence at all. The higher knowledge cannot come without some silence. So these are all the things which we have to undergo change to better. It is not fundamentalism. It is going to fundamentals of human life.